Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy, as always, the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapplefest 14. So, Grapplefest 14, going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. That's going to be Saturday, the 3rd of December. So, we're only just over a couple of weeks away now. So, again, anybody that's ever been there, at a Grapplefest event, whether it be one of the grapplers or even a spectator, will all tell you the same thing. The atmosphere is absolutely unbelievable. So there's nothing like a Grapplefest night. So, and again, this one's going to be absolutely no different. So, with it being, I think, the last show of the year, it's probably going to be a bit more excitement than what there maybe normally is. Which, yeah, I mean, they're never going to top previous nights. Well, they always do. They always do. So now, ticket availability, head over to the Grapplefest Facebook page. You will get your tickets directly through there. And anybody that can't make the event on the evening, you will get your pay-per-view through Fight TV. So head over to Fight TV and you will get the details from there. So again, a lot of unbelievable matches are going to be on display on the 3rd of December. And obviously the next guy I'm going to be talking to is going to be part of one of them amazing matches. So Matt Fitz-James going to be up against Jack Dolan. Matt's been on the match before. He's been at Grapplefest before. So he'll be able to tell us, obviously, what the atmosphere is like from a competitor point of view. So Matt's unbelievable. Again, fantastic grappler. Really, really good grappler. Love watching Matt. Love seeing what he's up to. So again, I'm going to be buzzing to see him on the 3rd of December again. So Matt, listen, always a pleasure, buddy. How's everything with you?
No, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's going really well, actually. Yeah, I'm quite excited for this one. I think it's like you said, it's the last one of the year, so I think it's been quite big. And I've seen they've just announced a few of the next one, so I think this could be maybe the last of like Daisy Fresh looks like. It might be, I don't know, they might still have them on, but
yeah,
they're looking like they're branching out to newer people in America.
Yeah. It's always good, the Daisy Fresh. I mean, the Daisy Fresh bring a bit more craziness to what's already a crazy night. So
yeah, definitely.
They just add a bit more madness to it. We see, like, obviously, doing the shoey and running about, obviously, the hillbilly hammer, running about the inflatable hammer and stuff like that. So it's always an interesting night when Daisy Fresh turn up on the scene.
Yeah, it's quite funny because they're crazy like that, but then backstage they're lying down, sleeping, just like chatting. It's complete opposites. It's quite cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the seminars as well. I mean, I know they're doing some seminars this time again. The seminars were absolutely brilliant. I mean, anybody that can get to one of the seminars, then definitely head over because their seminars are unbelievable. Plus, they roll with everybody as well, so you'll be able to get the roll and smash some of the Daisy Fresh boys, or get smashed from some of the Daisy Fresh boys,
Yeah,
whichever you want. So. What about you then, Matt? How's training going? How's everything going in regards to this training camp for you?
Do you know what? It's going really well. This is sort of the first time that I've sort of stopped doing a bit more gi. Sort of started to more focus on no gi. As before, I probably would have said I was more of a gi guy. But this year we've done a lot of no gi comps, and seeing it's the last one, I thought, you know what, this sort of camp, let's sort of ditch the gi for a little bit. Let's try some different avenues, shall I say, and mix things up a little bit. Yeah.
Not hanging that gi up though. The gi's still there.
No, do you know what? I'm going to Paris January 2023 to do the Euros, so I'll be jumping straight back into it, and then I think that's the way forward. I think, especially at sort of like purple belt, sort of that kind of level. Yeah, I'm not ready to hang it up just yet. It's always fun to mix it up.
Definitely. Listen, the older you get, man, that gi will come out more and more often.
Yeah, so, I can imagine.
us old Mustangs, mate. That's I love a gi. Don't get me wrong. I still go in and I'll just do the rolling and no gi. I won't do the class, but really the rolling's just obviously for like fitness, cardio, like moving and stuff like that. So, but
and I think as well a lot of like the older black belts, I think they used to say it's still the same move, you just take the gi off. But the game's evolved now. I think it's two different sports. So you've got to treat it as two different sports.
Yeah. Let me ask this time then. So what were you doing when you got that message to say you were going to be on Grapplefest 14?
I think I was actually in the gym. I got it late on after training. We weren't too sure about it. I know that I've got there's another guy from my gym, Josh. He's on it. And he got told about it first. And I was like, oh, am I going to be on it? I don't know yet. I don't know. And then got it. And I was like, right, we've got this full steam. Because I was on it before. I took that one probably, I think it was about 2 weeks early, quite late notice I took that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't sort of my best sort of highlight. So I've got a long time for this one. I'm excited for this. Yeah. I've done a few little comps building up to it to sort of get the sort of fitness out of it way. Yeah. So this should be quite a good one. Yeah. Good one.
What's the feeling? What's the feeling like, obviously, when your phone goes and you see Chris Thompson's name or Grapplefest showing up? So, because obviously, you know, as soon as you see their name, you're like, you don't even need to look at them. You know what's coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a crazy one because it's sort of, if you rewind probably a year ago, that was sort of like a long distance dream to get on Grapplefest, and you see all like the big names getting on it, and then even just the crazy thing of sort of all the competitors, they get put into like a Facebook page, a private Facebook page, and you see who's in this Facebook page, and you're like, wow, there's some really big names in it, sort of thing. So whenever Chris messages you, you just got to say yes, because you know that these opportunities don't come around that often. Yeah. And yeah, whatever the opponent is, you just got to take it. Yeah, not in a bad way, in an exciting way, because it's always going to be a good matchup. He never mismatches you, so he always picks a good opponent for you. So yeah, it's always going to be a good match.
That's the thing. I always talk about Chris's matchmaking skills, and unbelievable. I think when you look at all of the events that he's put on over the years, and I always say to him, man, you're like a mad scientist, because he knows everything about everybody. Like, I could go to Chris and say, oh, what about this guy? And he'll tell you all about them. He'll break their game down, right? He'll be like, oh, that guy's a guard player. He does this, he does that, or he's a top game player, and so on and so on. And he just seems to know everything about everybody, regardless if you're a blue belt right up to black belts.
Yeah, he's almost like the English John Dano, isn't he? Just knows all. We need to get him a rash guard and a fanny pack. It'd be great.
Listen, he's the John Danaher with a tan and some hair. That's the
definitely that.
So, and whiter teeth as well. And whiter
teeth.
So, but he does. I mean, that's it. He's got his head right in the game. He watches everything. He watches all these events, even like local shows that maybe do like smaller pay-per-views. Chris is watching them from all over the world. That's why, obviously, when they went to Africa, Mauritius, and he done absolutely brilliant over there, that he was able to take a show over and bring on some local guys, because he just seems to know everything that's going on all over the world.
Yeah, I was speaking to him about that, because they were going to go over with PFL, weren't they? And then last minute PFL sort of dropped out. I think they ended up going in this like abandoned school or something. Yeah. And Chris was just like, it was like the perfect atmosphere. And and the athletes out there, they're at a new level, I think, as well. So even he was quite surprised at sort of how much they put it on sort of the names that he took over with them.
Yeah. Definitely a rising. The combat sports over there is definitely rising. So we're going to see a lot of superstars coming out of Africa, certainly in the grappling industry, the grappling world, over the next maybe year or so. So definitely keep watching for the African grapplers coming over. So what about you then? So 2022, it's obviously coming to a head. Is this going to be your last show? Is this going to be your last outing for the year?
I think so. Yeah, we normally there's a smaller sort of show that's down in Gosport that a few of us go to. I've done that a few times, but I'm not on this one because it's literally just after Grapplefest. So I think for me that'll be the last one. Like I said before, I'm going to then switch back into the gi and then try and remember everything I know about gi. But yeah, this year has been mainly a no gi sort of year. Which I've enjoyed, to be fair. I have really enjoyed it. I think it's really good to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. What about 2023 then? So obviously 2022, when I talk to anybody, I always say, like, because obviously 2021, obviously we still had partial lockdowns. 2020 was a complete write-off. So this year was just about us getting back to normality. So 2023, now we're in the full swing. So we're going to see a lot of unbelievable stuff happening next year. I mean, what apart from the Euros, what other things would you like to see yourself doing next year?
I mean, the shows that I've done this year, I'd quite like to get back onto it, get back onto them. Sort of like done like Fusion, Grapple Kings, and there's a few other sort of local comps around. So I think I'm just going to keep trying to stay active. Obviously got got Paris going on the way, and then there's probably a few more in Europe that we might try and venture out to.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stay busy, keep going at it. There's no point slowing down, is there?
Yeah. So it's going
Just
to be a great
enjoy the
year.
road, enjoy it.
Definitely going to be a great year next year. I said, absolutely. I love it, man. I love it. Any shows that come up, man, I kind of watch most of the shows and I get to see all the talent that's out there. And it was funny because obviously, remember them coming out of lockdown and like the white belts. I remember the first time we were at a local comp and seeing the white belts coming out and thinking, where the fuck have you guys been training? Do you know what I mean? Because nobody was allowed to
Yeah,
train, but these white belts were coming out better than blue belts 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So, and the blue belts were better than purple and British, and so on and so on.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but it was,
Yeah, no, I mean, I was actually having this conversation with Mark, my coach, the other day. We were saying, like, obviously, I think out of our gym, there's been about 4 of us been on Grapplefest now.
yeah,
And we were sort of talking about like who are the next kind of wave that sort of the blue belts, as we say, that are going to come through.
yeah,
And we was looking at these blue belts. They've probably only been a blue belt for about a year, and they put it on the purple belts, and we're like, you know what? Give them a couple of years, they'll be
yeah,
coming up. Yeah, I don't know if it's just people just over lockdown had more time to watch instructionals or just sort of focus on it more.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
the instructionals, the sales of instructionals went through the roof. I know that
yeah,
BJJ
definitely.
Fanatics obviously had their instructional out every day. Tom DeBlas, Gordon Ryan's, John Danaher's, and a load more. But they seem to, like, I think was it Gordon Ryan's one sold 1 million copies in like the first few days of his instructional, which was crazy, man, absolutely crazy for a jiu-jitsu as well. As I said, because we don't really, even though we have a good following, we don't have a massive following like MMA and kind of other some other combat sports, but it's getting bigger and bigger every day.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, I am not name dropping here, but the last guy I spoke to PJ Barch and John Blank,
Yeah,
and I was asking them, I was like, do you guys release instructionals? Do you guys watch other people's instructionals? And they were like, we're meant to say no, but of course we do. And they were like, the best way to watch instructionals is you just pick an athlete, watch their recent match, see what they're doing, find the instruction on it, and then watch it at like 3 times speed. And you can
right.
just skip all the chatting and just watch the technique. So
Yeah,
even the big names, they're still watching instructionals, and
yeah, yeah.
everyone's watching everyone.
I used to do it as well. Like before instructionals, it was like I'd watch like YouTube videos, and my
Yeah, the little
guy,
like 4-minute ones.
yeah, yeah, and the guy I used to love watching was Rodolfo Vieira. And do you know what I mean? Just his style for me anyway, because I'm 100 kilo super heavyweight. Um, it was good watching him because as him being the same weight, I was able to pick up a few things. And I always remember I think I was watching his video one morning before a comp, and I saw him do this takedown, where he would grab them and then he would throw them over his back. I can't remember the name of it. And I remember going out to this competition. I said to my teammate, "I'm going to pull that off," and he's like, what? You've only just watched it for literally 2 minutes. And I was like, mate, I'm going to try that. And he's like, right, okay. And you know that one way even your coach, you're like, I'm going to try this. And your coach is like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then I pulled it off in a comp. And I said, that was just from watching 2 minutes of a Rodolfo Vieira video that morning. So they do
Oh,
work.
that's good,
They
that is.
definitely do work.
Yeah, they do. And you can actually look, it's quite funny. I actually learned a few Brazilian words from watching the old school ones.
Yeah.
So it's quite funny the words you kind of pick up and the vocabulary out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, listen, I love the Brazilian ones. Boa, boa. Do you know what I mean? So, that's all you seem to hear. Boa, boa.
Yeah, and then they got like pega, pega, pega.
We
Yeah.
love it. We love it. Absolutely love it. Final thing for you then, Matt. Obviously, you've been in the game for a little while. I mean, you've had some unbelievable training partners over the years. But anybody you want to shout out to, any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
I'll just say all the people from my gym. We've got a lot of big names, sort of like people like Connor, Josh, Clayton. I've also got to give a shout out to Jim just down the road, Jay Butler.
Yeah.
I've trained with him a lot, sort of thing, so I can't not shout him out, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm quite well sort of supplied with gyms around, sort of thing. So yeah, all the sort of local gyms. But I've got to shout out to most people at my gym.
Yeah, definitely. What about family? Any family you want to say hello to?
Oh, I was going to steal Jack's little line and say on to my mum in the spare room, but I thought, no, I can't steal that one. No, I've got a shout out to my dad. He lives out in Australia, and you know what? Probably over lockdown, I asked him to go to Absolute in Melbourne to get me one of the fuck you Craig Jones rash guards.
Yeah.
And he did, and he said to me that was the weirdest sport you ever do. Like, what on earth to do? But I've got to give him a shout out because he turned up, walked in, and went, "My son wants this random rash guards," and I've got it.
I can imagine that your dad going in thinking, I have to go in here and ask for a fuck you, Craig Jones rash
Yeah, do you
guard.
know what? He had no clue what it was about, and I said, "Just go into this random place. It's going to be like a spit and sawdust gym. Just asking for a rash guard."
Definitely a big shout out to Dad for doing that. As I said,
Yeah.
not many people would go into a gym and ask for a fuck you, Craig Jones rash guard. So because that's like you remember people like being apprentices and they would send you in for like like different things to the shops for
Yeah,
things that
left-handed
didn't
screwdrivers
exist.
a lot. Like, I
Yeah.
could have stitched them up. Big style.
Oh, definitely big shout out to Dad for sure. So, guys, there we go. Then we're going to have Matt Fitz-James, Phung BJJ, going to be up against Jack Dolan. That's Saturday, 3rd of December. Now, Grapplefest 14. Make sure you get tickets directly through the Grapplefest Facebook page, and it will take you through to their booking system. The pay-per-view is also on Fight TV now. A couple of different payment options. It's $14.99 for the standalone pay-per-view price. But probably the most cost-efficient way of doing it is to pay for the monthly subscription. You can cancel it any time if you choose to, but it only costs you $4.99. So in UK money, that's almost a fiver. So, but it's not too bad. I mean, a fiver a month for, what you're going to get. I mean, you're going to get all the Grapplefest events, Grapple Kings, as well as a few other events as well. So, yeah, definitely make sure you do not miss this. The last show of the year for Grapplefest, so it's going to be fireworks, man. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Any matchups you're looking forward to seeing, Matt?
Do you know what? I want to see my old nemesis, Graham Meeland, go again.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think Owen Flanagan versus Daisy Freshwater will be quite good. Yeah,
that's going to
it'll
be
be a hammer. I think that's going to be good. 2 leg lockers, so it'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a cracking main event, a really, really good main event. Rosa Walsh also on there as well. So
yeah, that'd be another good one. It'd be interesting because obviously she just had a sort of first loss, I guess, which is hard. You don't really like saying that, but it'd be interesting to see how she picks her game up. She might come back sort of even better.
Yeah.
But she's always turns up and performs, so she'll be another exciting one as well.
She's out there training with the Daisy Fresh animals, so she's going to come back fired up for sure. So
yeah, but we got to get you on there. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, we need to get you and Sean. That needs to be like the main event or something, or co-main event. Yeah.
Oh, listen, that was hilarious. That all started, man. He started he started slagging me off, but he didn't even know who I was. Right? He thought I was somebody else. Right? So he said that we did a podcast on Sunday, and he said, "Look, I thought this guy was somebody else. I thought you were this other guy, Martin Hamilton." And he said he didn't realize once I started posting. He then started getting like private messages from jiu-jitsu guys telling him I'm coming to smash him and I'm going to do this. And he's like, see the amount of hate that I got.
I'd be more worried if I was him. That Paul Craig literally said that I think we should have this fight. I'd be like, that's kudos to you, man. If you got Paul Craig back in the corner, mate, that's it.
I saw Paul on Saturday. I was talking away to him, and I said, "Paul, you set that boy up," and he's like, "Yeah, I know." So he completely set him up. Do you know what I mean? But I met the guy on Sunday, and he's a really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. He's what's called a roast comedian. Right?
Yeah.
So he did a video, man, and he absolutely destroyed me in the video. So. But do you know what? I love it, man. I love shit like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't take myself too seriously.
No, you can't take these two things seriously, man. Yeah. The
So,
moment they turn serious, they just start getting you even more, don't they?
Yeah.
Laugh it off.
But listen, I enjoyed it. It was a good back and forth. It kept me entertained for a week. So it did keep me entertained. So, but yeah, he's a really nice guy. So Sean Chalmers, you are a nice guy, but you're still a wee fat ginger guy. But listen, Matt, absolute pleasure, buddy. I should be heading down for the event as well, so it'll be good to catch up with you and the team. But listen, enjoy the rest of your training, buddy, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right.
Lovely. All right. I'll see you later.
Take it easy, buddy.
Bye.